Hello, welcome home to Eden. This is Eve's Eden. You can see my little paradise here. It's very simple. I've landed in Eve's Eden. So let's start at the beginning of this notebook. I got a whole notebook full of videos for you. And I'll just go one by one. This one is about how to recognize the feminine path, okay? The thing about the sacred way of the deep feminine, the feminine within you if you're a man, the feminine within you if you're a woman, trapped in a man's world, either way, this is a long lost tradition. Okay, so what's hard to describe to people is, like I said to my friend who was teaching me some very sacred Buddhist practices, I was saying to him, I'm going to take these in because I need to develop my masculine, my sacred divine masculine, and Buddhism is very good for that. But I did kind of mention to him, but you know, this is not the way of the feminine. This is the antidote to her, and there's a whole nother way I'd love to share with you. Of course, he's not really interested in that. He wants to just sort of dismiss that as fast as possible. Because the feminine, it upends things. It upends a lot of assumptions, like about, you know, how often you work and how much money you should make and what you should do with your day and what's meaningful in life and what's the point anyway and what should you expect out of your life. The feminine turns it all around into a completely different story. So let's just start with something very simple, okay? So I was at a peyote gathering, and it was a beautiful ceremony. It was led by an elder who actually really had a very deep sense of reverence for the feminine. And he kept asking the women to speak. And the whole thing just sort of opened up to such a deep level that we never would have been to if the women had never been allowed to speak. As usual, usually they can't sing. They've all got to like only sing the powwow songs in the ways that powwow songs are supposed to be done. Anything spontaneous, not allowed. So a lot of that was still there. So this young woman next to me, she's this beautiful woman. She's got her gorgeous clothes on. She's got her powwow songs. She's got her drum, her rattle, everything perfect with the beautiful beadwork and feathers. And she's taken this indigenous path seriously with a lot of respect. So here's where it gets really tricky. We're taught now that we've got to respect the indigenous ways and not superimpose white agenda on top of them. But the problem is, the way of the feminine is coming back. She has to come back to save the planet, right? So even the indigenous practices, even the ancient indigenous rituals are in a similar situation, a little better than most religious churches, but where they don't have the feminine, they don't remember the feminine. Nobody knows what it was. It was so long ago. It was so lost. It was so buried. It was so trampled under the ownership of women and the fighting over women and the needing women and the not wanting them to leave the tribe and so all of these layers of controlling the women and her power comes down to this day and age now where the men are still at it. They just take away our abortion rights, take away our body rights, take away, take away, take away. So in the peyote ceremony, of course, once again, we are in a context where the sacred feminine, people don't even know what it is. They don't realize what a ritual is run by the feminine. So let me give you a couple little cute clues. Well, let's see. So the young woman next to me, she says to me, you know, you can't put your feet towards the center of the circle where the mandala is because that's not allowed, because that's dirty and that's disrespectful. Okay, so here's the thing right away. The mother tradition knows your feet are sacred. It is through your feet that you receive Mother Earth. All of your chakras, every organ of your body are aligned along the soles of your feet. If it was a mother tradition, she would say, put your feet towards me. Let's start by massaging your feet, anointing your feet. Let me kiss your feet. Let's kiss each other's feet. it's just so radically different, right? Because instead of like dirt is bad, your feet are bad, this disrespect, the mother tradition would say to you, this is not about respecting some authority in the middle. This is about respecting yourself. This is about goddess within you. Okay? It's so exciting when you start to create rituals of your own to celebrate the goddess, to bring her back. You'll discover what it's all about. And the thing is, you're going to have to create it yourself because she's gone. The tradition's gone. She's not gone, but the traditions of how to do it and how to celebrate the mama, she's just like, it's so absolutely different than what we think of to be pious and good. So this girl next to me, she's feeling very pious. She's like, I'm the politically correct one. I'm following the rules that the guys said when they said, and I'm doing the right songs. Well, yes, it's all good. Within the masculine, she has aced the masculine, okay? And she is a little warrioress. That's what she is. But does she really want to be responsible for my legs cramping through the whole ceremony so I can be obedient and not put my feet forward in this tiny space where we got to be for 24 hours sitting, right? Is that really going to make her feel holier than thou that she got to tell a grandma, like I'm old enough to be, well, her mother, to tell her mother, hurt yourself so you can be obedient? Does she really feel that that is sacred? If you get in touch with your deep self, you don't feel these things are right. You don't feel they're necessary. To feel like a family, to feel joy and pleasure, and to honor the women. Where if she had grown up in any kind of feminine tradition, she would be wanting to honor me because I'm her elder. She would be wanting to make me comfortable, grandma or mama. If she would be like, can I get you water? Can I get you a pillow? She wouldn't turn to me and say, put your feet different. So I just said to her, look, I'm going to be comfortable tonight, and my own relationship to my body is more important than any ritual that anybody can give me. So of course she's offended, and then who am I to be in that circle? Am I disrespecting the peyote? But the peyote comes from the Huichol people who have a woman deity giving birth to all of life. The deep respect from in a feminine peyote circle would be held differently. The whole thing would be so different. Instead of having songs you have to sing, you would be allowed to let peyote sing through you as she sings in your tradition, in your voice. It would be absolutely authentically okay for you to channel the peyote as you speak her prayer. But when it's run by the man and the masculine way, what they're really focused on is rules and protocols. And that's very good for the men, to be warriors, to be obedient, to be like following a leader. It's very good for masculine energy. So I don't even want to criticize that ritual because it was so good for the masculine. And actually we saw the sacred masculine appear in this ceremony like nothing before. I cried and cried. The men were so beautiful, and I thanked them for making the fires and for the sweat lodge and all the things that I really could not have done. It just took too much strength. I'm gonna get over here in the breeze. It just took too much strength to do it myself, but these men did it for us. So we're not about criticizing the ancient ways, the rituals as they are. Yes, you can go, you can partake in it, and when you enter a ritual, of course, you've got to go with the rules as much as you can. But my job, what's your job? My job's to bring back the feminine. My job's to help lead us back to the sacred feminine. I have to do it, and a lot of times I'm alone, and I get really criticized, and I get really kind of, I shock people. So, like, if you think about it, the ritual goes on, and I'm comfortable in my body because I didn't obey something to be lovable. So the idea of the masculine is you're not lovable until you attain mastery, or you attain approval, or you're you have done everything perfectly. The feminine is like you're perfect now already, and we're just uncovering our perfectness by going within and loving this moment, loving our bodies, loving the earth. Okay, so that's enough on that one. I hope that gets you started. How different it is when you go the feminine way. There's thousands of ways it's different. So we're just gonna keep doing this in this show. I'm just gonna keep sharing with you every little way we can look at this to start getting a handle on what is the feminine, where is she, what's it about, what are we missing, what's the taboo, why is it such a taboo. Let's just go towards the taboo. Okay, subscribe to this channel. This is the Eve's Eden Show on YouTube. Okay.